When your hit percentage exceeds mine, you can choose the soundtrack. Hey everyone, Metagross Freak here with a video that isn't a surprise to you because I've been doing a lot of Transformers content lately, but is a surprise to me because, you know, I stopped by one of the 4 Targets near my house, hoping to find something different than usual, and I ended up finding Transformers Combiner Wars Legends Class Shockwave. And this is a really cool figure. I was not expecting to see this today, but it includes a little card, and it looks like this version of Shockwave is loosely based on his Fall of Cybertron version. And it says he can combine to form Bruticus, though if you notice from the picture, he does not look like any part of Bruticus. He actually turns into the weapon for Bruticus. As you can see over here, he turns into the weapon, or some kind of can thing. And again, this alt mode is loosely based off of both his Gen 1 figure as well as his alt mode from Fall of Cybertron. But here we can see a short little bio. The English version says, "Thus, Decepticon scientist created Bruticus to pummel Autobots." So, sounds like not only is he the weapon of Bruticus, but he is the designer of Bruticus. I'm looking forward to this. There's some nice artwork here. Same artwork on the card, kind of similar to the Titans Returns figure. Let's get to it. Here is Shockwave in his robot mode. He is a pretty cute little Shockwave, and he comes with, of course, the instructions and a Transformers Generations card. It has that really nice artwork of Shockwave with his cannon. It says Decepticon Shockwave because I guess for some reason just the name doesn't have a trademark. On the back, however, unlike the Soundwave card I had, this one doesn't have any stats. It just says Transformers Generations. But here is Shockwave. He stands up very well. He has very nice, stable feet. And considering his size, he actually has really decent posability. He has little swivels up here in the shoulders with ball joints, so you actually can get some decent articulation, though it looks like these swivels are pretty tight. Like you can see, this one can go up and down, but it's pretty dang tight. I can't even get this one on the other side to go up and down. Head is on a ball joint, though again pretty tight. Like I can get some side to side, up and down movement, but turning it is difficult. Legs, as you probably noticed, are a little loose, but they are all on a ball joint. For the hips, kind of a loose ball joint, as well as an upper thigh swivel. That's kind of nice. There is knee articulation, though again these knees are a little tight. And there is technically foot articulation, though that's mostly, from what I can tell, for the transformation. So the upper arms look like they're supposed to bend right here, though I'm not. In fact, they even have a pin in the side, so it looks like they're supposed to bend, but I can't get either arm to bend. And it appears, however, that the transformation does not require the arms to bend. So I guess that's a good thing. Arms are on a ball joint. Sorry, the lower arms, the elbow is a ball joint. You have Shockwave's right hand, which you can see here. It actually has what looks like a 3mm peg. And it's in transparent violet. And then you have Shockwave's classic blaster. Not really an amazing sculpt because you have all this crap on the arm, the side of the arms, but I mean he does have a rather nice looking blaster given his size. No waist articulation, though he does have a bit of a backpack, which will be basically his handle, the handle for him when he's in his alt mode as a weapon. Let's take a look at that head with the chest sculpt. That's pretty nice. That's very classic Shockwave. But for comparison, here he is with... So I forgot to mention, this is a Legends class figure. Now, Legends class figures, the Legends figures now are basically what the Scout class is now, like, Scout class was basically renamed Legends, and the old Legends figures were essentially renamed Legion. So here is Shockwave, a Legends class figure, though by old Transformer standards, he'd be a Scout. Here is Legends Soundwave from Transformers Cybertron, though nowadays this would be called a Legion class figure. As you can see, Shockwave is a bit taller. Also, for comparison, here he is with Transformers Energon Offshoot / Signal Flare. Offshoot and Signal Flare are basically the same character. It's the same mold, just a slight recolor, just a very, very slight recolor. And in fact, in canon, they're brothers. So if you have one, you have both of them. As you can see, he's a little smaller than a figure for a Scout class. He's a little smaller than a Scout class, but not too bad overall. And then just for fun, here he is next to Voyager Shockwave from Transformers Dark of the Moon. This is a massive figure by comparison, but if you really wanted to, you could always have him like sitting on top. You can just, bend his knees, have him sitting on top, and that's actually kind of cute. I think that's kind of cute. Or you could always just take the sword off. So you take this sword off and have him sit here, and potentially maybe have him hold the sword. Let me see if this will work. Hey, it does. He's able to hold the sword. I wouldn't force it into the hand, but he can definitely hold the sword. So you can have him sit. You can have Legion class Shockwave sit on Voyager class Shockwave and just lightly hold his blade sword. So that's kind of cute. I might in fact use this as the thumbnail picture. This is kind of cute. That was hands down one of the weirdest transformations I've had to do. Unfortunately, one of the downsides of a figure this small is that the instructions are not always clear. For example, I struggled to turn the legs into the front of this cannon for a bit because I couldn't figure out that you basically had to move the leg, the part where the legs, basically the hip joints, downwards. Normally, they go out to the sides of the hips. You have to rotate them from the sides down to basically be here, and that wasn't displayed on the instructions, so I couldn't close the gun for a while. Not only that, but I actually was wrong. You actually do have to bend the arms. They do bend, but they require a bit of force, and you can see if you don't fold them. Let me get this out of the way. If you don't fold them, that's the gun mode, which, I mean, that's a bit of a stock. It's not that big of a deal, though. If you can't get the arms to bend, that's still a good weapon. It just has kind of this weird stock to it. But if you bend them like that, and you kind of force it up, you might have to disconnect the arms, but there you go. It does fold up like that, and the stock is a lot smaller. What's really weird is what is it? I think it's step... Oh, it is. It's step 2 of the instructions has you flip up the handle, and then step 12 tells you to flip it down. So this officially is the alt mode. It's kind of, I guess you could say, a cruiser. It's actually kind of nice. I like this alt mode. It's very nice. You've got the very classic like Shockwave cannon look, albeit you can see his knees. So if you're not a fan of that, well, then you're kind of at a loss. But it definitely looks like that classic Shockwave look. You have like these kind of like little wings. Those are his heels. And you have kind of a little screen here. You might not be able to see, but it actually does have a targeting reticle visible on both sides of the mold, so that's kind of cool. I'm a little surprised they didn't try to make that out of the transparent violet plastic, but that's fine. Then it just in the back of it kind of gives it a very, like the whole length of the front plus the back bit with these little wings make it look a lot like a ship cruiser. Though if you turn it like this, you can definitely see Shockwave's robot chest as well as his hands and his gun, so that's a little awkward. I mean, the chest isn't that big of a deal, but the hands kind of is. And then, of course, you can easily flip down the handle like so, and he's got kind of just a standard rifle handle for a Shockwave gun. That's kind of cool. I can dig it. I would say you're not going to get this as a weapon, unless you have a Shockwave that you want to use this as a weapon for, but I'd say with the handle flipped away, this is a very nice alt mode if you just want to have a little Shockwave to have in your pocket or your backpack to fiddle with on commutes. Not too bad, not too bad. Definitely was worth the price though. I basically had to break it in because the instructions are not intuitive enough. And then just to show that it can actually be used as a weapon, here we have Offshoot again, and you can see the alt mode is about as big as he is, but if you just fit it in, well then now you have just a very oversized cannon for your scout class figures, though it is a little loose because this is a 5mm peg instead of a it's a 3mm peg instead of a 5mm peg, but yeah, you can indeed plug it into ports and hold him like a weapon, which is kind of what Shockwave did in Gen 1. So that's kind of cool. And of course, here he is next to his Voyager counterpart, obviously a lot smaller. To help illustrate my point, here I have Warrior, not Deluxe class, Warrior class Drift. Let me take out one of his katanas. And let me just adjust his arm a little bit, and we can easily slide in Shockwave, and there you go. You have a deluxe, a warrior class figure holding a legends class weapon. So clearly, this weapon was designed for someone either Voyager or leader sized. Though clearly, based on the fact that this is from Combiner Wars, or at least from the Combiner Wars line, that should have been obvious. One last comparison. Here, Shockwave is in his alt mode with Scout class, Signal Flare / Offshoot, and you can see that with the handle flipped up, he's about Scout class size. He's not amazing. He's basically kind of a smaller version of a Scout class. Yeah, so it's a good size figure. I really like him. Alright, well, thank you all for watching my video review of Transformers Combiner Wars Shockwave. I hope you all had a fun time. I know I certainly am going to have some fun with this figure as I kind of loosen up the joints a little bit and get to basically get to know the ins and outs and the limits of what this figure can accomplish. Yeah, thank you all for watching again, and until next time, I've been Metagross Freak, and gosh darn it, some of these joints are so stiff. There we go. There he is. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!